The fear of the Dark Raid is upon us, and it is pretty challenging, but I'm going to show you, at least with clever driving and the build that I showed you a month ago, how to do the level 100 for instant, well, base repair. Now this is going to work if you have a few different evade builds out there, but the premise of this is that you want to have an evade build ship. For me, that's ship number 5, a regular fleet. If you want to know more, I covered that in my build video. I don't even have the flag for this one. A few of my ships are still missing armors. I don't have all legendary weapons, and I'm going to get this done driving my ass off, but I'm going to get this done for less than 20 minutes of damage. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Briefly, I want to cover the turrets that are in this target. First of all, we have some directional turrets, such as the Glacial, which you should never take damage from. Don't go on the arc, and that should be pretty good. We also have some shockwave turrets. Against these, you want to have them only hitting your high evade ship, which just means it has to be the closest because they don't have King Killer or priority or anything like that. We have some Drac coaxial turrets, which are pretty painful. They do splash damage to everything, so you only want those hitting one ship at a time rather than the entire stack of 4 or 5. That way you'll cut your damage in, well, a quarter or a fifth. We also have some disruptor cannons, same story as the coax, except they have a firing arc that you can get inside of, so ideally it hits one when it's going through the outside. This one does sometimes hit my back 3 ships, but I'm not really going to care too much about that one. And that just about does it for the main turret types in the target, other than the moving turrets, otherwise known as ships to most people except for Kixeye, which you want to outrange, and you don't want to be moving towards them when they're moving towards you. Okay, let's jump right into it. Against the first 2 turrets, what I'm going to do is take ship number 5. By the way, play around with the number keys and the shift key. That will help you with your driving and stuff like that. I'm just going to take this ship and split it out ahead of everyone else and move kind of close to the different turrets in the target. I don't want to move too close because I don't want to get hit by the other ones down here on the coax turrets. All I want to do is have the launchers targeting ship number 5, which has like 95% evade, so they miss most of the time. If I had ship number 2 out, it would get shockwave, which is really painful. By the way, I recommend you turn effects on for projectile explosions and a few other things there to make sure you see shockwaves if they happen, which they actually shouldn't. Okay, for the Drac coax turrets, I'm going to ignore those. I'll come back to those in a second. I want to hit the Wendigo at the very top, and to do that, I'm going to move one ship closer, that's ship number 5, have this guy sneak forward, and the other ones go in behind him. Notice that I kind of have these guys going parallel to each other rather than in the same collinear path, because I don't want the splash that's targeting ship number 5 to hit the 3 in the back. So again, for the coax turrets, what you want to do is just head towards them, but don't have the ships be stacked on the same line. You want to have them kind of parallel to each other more so than like on the same line. A few things shooting at me from down bottom. I should not have gone in range, but I did. That's a little bit unfortunate. Okay, here are some tricky bits to pay attention to. That turret is facing away from me now. There's another one coming towards me. I'll need to pay attention to that one a little bit later. Okay, moving everything towards me here. Going to take ship number 5 and have him pulled out in head. Again, so everything shoots at ship number 5 rather than the other ones. If you start to take more than 6 minutes of damage, 5 minutes of damage on ship 5, you can rotate who's in front. That's not too required, but it is a little bit helpful. At this point, I could charge in and grab this turret cluster on the left, the one on the right, but I've been talking too much, and therefore this turret is going to be the next thing that causes me a problem. So I'm just going to stack everybody up and wait for the turret to come towards me. As you start hitting this target yourself, you're likely not going to do the explanation bits at the beginning, and therefore would have different timing on this turret, so that's something to be aware of. All I'm going to do is spin around a little bit. I am using a Sea Serpent screw for the evade, and then the turn speed is kind of helpful for maneuvering. To just hit this guy a few times as he's facing away from me, he's going to stay out of range, and I'm going to kill him with no damage. Pretty simple one, all things considered there. Let's stack up for the next turret right here. Want to stay out of range of everybody here. Ship number 5 will get moved on the left. Shift to deselect that, move everybody else over. Start with ship number 5 forward, click here, everyone else click further behind, and everything should target ship number 5. Again, I will repeat what I said, that against the only splash turrets, I think, right, that should work pretty well. You can like rotate a different ship to go in front. Maybe you have a higher ballistic one, and ship number 5 is your radioactive one. That's getting a little bit too crazy for me. Okay, let's pull number 5 out to the side and have him jump in first. Others will jump in second. Again, everyone's targeting this one. Maybe moving 2 is the way to go, so you try and reduce your damage by spinning in circles or something. That's a little bit too much driving for me there. Okay, hover over the turret to see the firing ranges, and then we're going to grab the moving one. Same story as the last time. If you're moving towards him, that kind of sucks. If you're moving away, not the end of the world. It's actually pretty straightforward, and sometimes you don't even have to move if he's not moving directly towards you and is more like at an angle if I was up here or something like that. Make sure you don't move into the range of the glacial. That's a pretty big no-no, pretty easy mistake there. Take ship 5, move him forwards, take everyone else and drop them in behind him. That should pretty much avoid all the damage on that one. Again, sometimes the back group does get hit a little bit. I'm inside the firing range, so I can even stack up. Okay, coax turrets, and because I've got so much damage on, oh, too close. Because I've got so much damage on number 5 and like not a lot on the other ships, I'm going to take ship 1, just random pick here, move him out forward first, and then come back in with 5 because there's a launcher turret. I want to have this in front against the launchers for sure. That was a little bit of a messy way to do that, but I think you kind of get the idea. Last turret cluster, let's head toward this one, and this does, well, I guess we have 2 more. This first one does not have any accuracy-based turrets, so I can actually lead with ship number, I guess I'll go with number 2, just to rotate things around a little bit. Have this guy jump in first, everyone else jump in after, number 2 slightly closer. Grab this guy, perfect. Not getting damage from anybody, great. Now this last one does have 2 accuracy-based turrets. If you move in with your regular fleet, you're likely going to get a shockwave. So let's take ship 5 and have him parked out ahead, click inside, everyone else click in too, and pull this guy again so that the damage from splash is like not going on the back stack right behind the front stack. That's the basic idea, I say, in a target video that's already been 7 minutes long, because again, this is pretty complicated. I think this raid is pretty hard. I don't really like it. I took an hour and 10 minutes damage on auto in this target with my auto-optimized fleet, which honestly is pretty annoying. Taking a look at the repair time, you can see that we have ballistic repair right here, which is 24% resisted, 1% taken. Radioactive is 6% resisted, 0% taken, so much more ballistic damage in this target. Not entirely surprising. I'm basically mitigating all the radioactive damage with evade, which is the 69% evaded. Repair time is 14 minutes and 11 seconds. There might be like 6.5 minutes on this last ship. Like I said, that doesn't really matter because you could rotate it around a little bit more than I'm doing, but the rest of these are totally instant repair. I could go back to dock and check and like refilm this video again, but this was my first try with the evade fleet. You can tell that because I got the free 1 million points and then I autoed it, and then I'm not sure I have an extra 250k, but anyways, this was my first attempt at recording this one, and I got it with a U3 ship that's missing a heavy armor and a regular armor, and this one will be going to X1 pretty soon, honestly. 4-hour tokens and 8 hours overnight. The build is shown here and is the same in my build stock, although of course I don't have all legendary weapons and legendary armors and stuff like that. I'll continue to upgrade these, refit these guys, and add more things on here. I will make videos on the 101 and the 1200 1201. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see those. I want to give a huge shout out to the channel members whose names are on the end screen now. They're helping make videos like this one possible, which is super cool because it means you all get to see these. If you want to support the channel, totally optional, click the join button below on YouTube. And until next time, this is Derpy signing out, helping you be a better pirate.